any new attendees or, well, information for new attendees of the members of the public, and any reminder of members who join us on a regular basis. A couple of items of note, and one is that we have a consent calendar, and that consent calendar is typically considered very normal business. Nothing on the consent calendar is really out of the ordinary normal business of the airport. And so rather than read each item separately, I'll read both items tonight on the consent calendar, which is in itself exceptionally light. And if there are no questions from the public, no questions from the Airport Commission, I will just look for a motion to approve the entire consent calendar instead of going item by item. And the second is the public has opportunities to speak on the agendized items, and we'll provide that opportunity at each agenda item, but also on any item that is not on the agenda tonight, but is within the purview of the Airport Commission. So those of you who know Brian, that used to be with Public Works, if there's a pothole that needs to be filled, while he might be able to point you in the right direction, that would not be considered airport business. So if you have a comment or question or a comment on items that are under the purview of the Airport Commission, but not on the agenda tonight, we'll call for that in the very beginning. And lastly, those of you who are regular attendees know that this is a serious meeting and we have serious business to conduct, but I do try to keep it somewhat lighthearted. And so my comedic talents, which are on a scale of 1 to 10, not really on the scale, but in my own mind, they're at least an 8. I'm going to get to say something tonight by virtue of the fact that we are still doing this on Zoom. I am in the great state of New York, in downtown Manhattan. So live from New York, there, I feel complete now. So with that, Mo, I will, I'm sorry everybody had to suffer through that. I'll call the meeting to order and ask you to do a roll call.
Thank you, Chair Curry. Commissioner Glazer.
Here.
Commissioner Bowen.
Here.
Commissioner Maya.
Here.
Vice Chair Houghton.
Here.
Chair Curry.
I am here.
And Commissioner Goodman is excused this evening, and Commissioner Reed may be able to come in later in the meeting, but for now she's not here. So with that, we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you, Mo. I don't remember if it's Mo or the airport director. Do we have any changes to the agenda tonight?
No, we do not.
Alrighty. And with that, notices that on Friday, March 11th, 2022 at 5 p.m., the Airport Commission Secretary, that being Mo, duly posted this agenda on the bulletin board at the airport administration. At this point, I'll call for any public comment on any issue that is within the purview of the Airport Commission, but not on the agenda tonight. And I'll just remind everybody that it's 3 minutes per speaker for a total of 15 minutes. So please be respectful to speakers that would come after you to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Mo, do we have any public comment at this time?
Members of the public, if you would use your raised hand icon to indicate that you would like to make a comment, please do so now. And Chair Curry, there are no raised hands.
Alrighty, thank you, Mo. Then we'll move on to the liaison reports. And I admit to not looking at all the pictures. Do we have Council Member, Santa Barbara Council Member Eric Friedman with us tonight?
We do not have either of the liaisons with us tonight, Chair Curry.
Chair Curry, if I can just jump in real quick though, I did speak with Council Member Friedman this afternoon. And for those of you who may not be aware, he's actually the chair of the city finance committee. So he looked over this agenda item, and I don't know that there was a lot of new material necessarily. So he just kind of managing his agenda, which is pretty heavy. we decided that he could take a pass on this one for tonight. And I also did hear from Councilmember Kyle Richards from City of Goleta, and he's traveling. So I did want to put in a plug though on his behalf for the City of Goleta. They recently celebrated their 20th anniversary, and they had a great celebration out at the Stowe House on March 5th it was. We had some airport staff who were there and attended, and it was a great celebration. I wanted to share that there are some videos on YouTube that City of Goleta staff have put together related to the 20th anniversary, both some historical information as well as some highlights from that celebration that took place earlier this month. So that's all I had on that item.
Alrighty. Well, with that, we may set a record here for the shortest airport commission meeting on record, at least for some time. So with that, we'll move on to the consent calendar. There are 2 items on the consent calendar. As I mentioned, I'm going to read them both. And if we don't have any public comment and we don't have any airport commission, or regardless, I'll look for a motion to do both at the same time. So item number 5, regarding minutes, a recommendation that the airport commission waive the reading and approve the minutes of the commission meeting that was held on Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. Item 6, or the second item on the consent calendar, the property management report that was delivered for February 2022, a recommendation that the airport commission receive the monthly airport property management report. So do I have any airport commissioners that have comments or questions on either of those items? Seeing no frantically waving hands, Mo, could you call for any public comment on those 2 items?
Members of the public, if you wish to make a comment, please use the raised hand icon, and that indicates to me that you would like to speak. And whoops, I do not have any raised hands.
Okay, well then we will move on to item number 7, administrative reports. And I believe we're going to receive a staff presentation regarding fiscal year 2022 mid-year financial and P3 report. What does P3 mean? I should have asked this earlier. What's a P3 report, Director Demore?
Chair Curry, you're really putting me on the spot with that one. It's Paradise Performance Plan, I believe. Sometimes I get mixed up if it's plan or program, but it's a way that city tracks their different measures for performance.
Okay, I think that's sufficient.
Yes.
And I apologize for putting you on the spot there.
No, I was kind of joking about that. But if I can, since I've kind of got the mic now, I'd like to introduce Jonathan Abad, who is the airport business manager. I don't know that you've heard a lot from him in the past, but he's a key component of our management team here at the airport. So, providing really essential financial support services to all of the other managers supporting all of our other programs. So John, if you want to take it away with what you've got put together here, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Chair and airport commissioners. Am I coming in loud and clear?
Yep.
All right. Jonathan Abad, airport's business manager. It's actually my 2nd time doing this mid-year report. Did it first time last year here with Henry. I'm here tonight to give you an update on our fiscal 22 mid-year financial results, Fiscal 22 started on July 1st, 2021, ends in June 30th, 2022. This is a mid-year report that covers the first 6 months of the fiscal year, starting in July, ending in December 2021. The report included in the agenda presents the mid-year results as compared to the budget in detail. But in this presentation, we'll be focusing more on comparing the fiscal year's actual mid-year results to the same 6-month period in the prior fiscal year. This way, you'll have a full picture of our mid-year results as compared to the budget and prior year's actual data. And next slide, please. Oh, I think I lost the slides there. There we are. Okay. In spring of last year, the winter lockdown started to ease up as soon as the vaccines became more widely available. Travel demand surged the most during the spring and summer of 2021, where average airports in California saw around a 3-fold increase in monthly airline passenger counts. But Santa Barbara led the state as one of the fastest recovering airports, with over 6-fold increase from January through July of 2021. By mid-year FY22, fiscal 22, passenger count was up 293% more than the prior mid-year. And our revenues are doing much better as a result, with our commercial aviation and terminal revenues up significantly this fiscal year as compared to the last. Here's the overall results of the 4 main revenue sources. Terminal revenues up 185%, commercial aviation revenues up 34%, non-commercial aviation up 17%, and commercial industrial revenues up 4%. Next slide, please. All right, and terminal lease revenues includes terminal parking. This is run for us by Reef Parking Management and includes three lots: the short-term, long-term, and the economy lot that we shuttle people back and forth to the terminal on. This is up 245%, or about 1.8 million over last fiscal mid-year. Airport rental cars up 117%. Restaurants, gift shop concession revenues at the terminal is up over 750%, or $175,000. Other terminal revenues such as taxis, limos, advertising, ATM, TSA rents are up about 144%, up 153,000 over last. Next slide, please. Right. Commercial aviation leases are up $615,000. That's 33% at mid-year over last. And this includes building leases up 143,000 or 11%. Airline landing fee up about 294,000 or 77%. Other revenues such as remain overnight fees, freight and charter landing, boarding fee, bridge fees, they're up about $74,000 or 56%. And fuel flowage is up 104,000 or 215% up. Next slide, please. Non-commercial aviation revenues are up 354,000 or 17%. This includes building rent, 10% up. General aviation landing fees and permits up 122,000 or 42%. And fuel flowage fee also 42%, up $65,000. Next slide, please. Okay. In total, mid-year revenues are up $4 million or 49% up over last fiscal mid-year. This excludes the COVID-19 relief grant that we received last year, such as the CARES Act for about $5 million. And in this fiscal 22, we just received the ARPA grant in the third quarter for about 5.9 million, which isn't in here because it's in the third quarter. Next slide, please. And expenditures at mid-year are up about 8%, mostly from increased operational costs that came in with parking and facilities maintenance, advertising and utility usage. And next slide, please. And overall expenditures are just slightly over revenues collected at $55,000 this mid-year, with January's employment down significantly from December's, and our staffing actually up since the beginning of the fiscal year. I'd expect the deficit to grow by the end of the fiscal year, but it will all more than be offset by the ARPA grant that we just received in January. So we'll end up at the surplus. Next slide, please. In the end, I'd like to highlight some of the major operating accomplishments and milestones we had at mid-year. In budget administration, business administration, despite the worldwide microchip shortages that we were able to replace all our outdated computers, workstations, and upgraded many desktops to laptops to allow for more mobility. And in doing so, we actually will be saving about $200,000 every 5 years by having taken out about a dozen dedicated DOC laptops off of the airport expenses, by dual purposing some of the existing laptops now that we have for also the DOC purpose. We've also worked with the city's fleet program to provide our airport fleet with mobile car washing service at their expense that saves us lots of staff time and money. And in marketing, we've had marketing's been busy engaging in new and existing partnership developments, such as the Alpha Resource Center, the Alaska Airline Plane Pool event we just had recently, and other community engagement programs such as the Southwest Ticket Giveaway via social media and participation in chambers in-person events. Facilities maintenance received the ACI Airport Health Accreditation, AHA for short, to ensure health and safety of our guests and passengers towards our path to full recovery. They also completed construction of Airline Support Center to accommodate a central location for our terminal employee locker rooms, meeting space, office, and storage. Facilities maintenance also completed remodel of various offices to accommodate new employees at the airport administration building. Airport operations completed recruitment for 3 new operations supervisors in the middle of the most challenging workforce ever. They also promoted 2 existing security aides to operations specialist positions. Our newly staffed capital development team completed a consultation, the consultant RFQ for the terminal expansion and parking lot structure project. They also issued RFQ for the master plan project and received coastal development permit and planning approval for the Southfield redevelopment project. And this concludes my presentation, and would be more than glad to take some of your questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mo, following your lead, Jonathan, thank you for that report. I don't have any questions. Do I have any airport commissioners frantically waving or unfrantically waving their hands?
I don't see any raised. Oh, Levi raised his hand. Anybody else? Okay, that's it for the commissioners.
Go ahead, Levi.
Thanks. Yeah, Jonathan, just a point of clarification about the grant offsetting the deficit. How does that compare to pre-pandemic? And Do you expect that growth over the next year, assuming we're on a trajectory toward recovery, that will be in the black come this time 23?
Yes, we're actually preparing our fiscal 23 budget at this point, and with the trajectory of the growth of revenue, even with the growth of expenses, without the grants next year, we are expecting to be in the black without the COVID grants.
Great, thanks.
Anybody else? Does it look like anybody else? So Mo, I will ask you to call for any public comment on this agenda item.
Members of the public, if you would like to comment on the presentation, would you please use your raised hand icon? And that informs me you would like to speak. Chair Curry, there are no raised hands.
Alrighty, well, with that, we'll move on to our last agenda item, and that being the director's report.
All right, well, that would be me, and I would say that we are on pace for a record time meeting. I have a few items I wanted to share. We did expect we were going to have a little bit more on this agenda, but we had one of our lease items didn't quite make it to print at the end of last week. So that was unfortunate, but I think for good reason. We'll have more details next month when we present. But I did want to mention, thinking about next month, it looks like there is a good possibility that we will be able to do that in person. So that was also part of the thought process on keeping things a little bit light here is we'll save some of the meatier stuff for when we can be together in person, which I've been hearing from the commissioners that they're interested in going back to that. So fingers crossed, this will be our last Zoom, but it's not official yet. So I'll let you all know as soon as I do hear officially so that we can plan on that. Also, you'll see there's a mystery person on the call here, Robert Dixon. I wanted to introduce him to you all. He is on board as of Thursday of last week as our properties manager in an hourly, on an hourly basis. So like me, it's potentially an interim role, but it's been working out amazingly based on 4 days of experience. So he's sitting right across the hall from me in Deanna's old seat. And Robert, if you want, I think it'd be great for them to hear just a little bit from you, your background, and what has excited you so far about your work here out at the airport.
Sure. Does everyone hear me?
Yep.
Excelente. Okay. Well, my background is primarily in the private sector. I have 30 years experience in commercial investment real estate, including property management, asset management, and real estate brokerage, including virtually every asset type, office, light industrial, retail, and hospitality. I have also done a development with my father, which is Mariposa at Elwood Shores, which took us a very, very long time to do. We did that personally. Small little thing we've been doing for about the past 10 years. If you're familiar with it, it's an up and functioning assisted living and memory care facility in Goleta. And we're very, very proud of it. It's very beautiful. And with that project complete and some other family issues, business issues that I was assisting my father with complete, I was looking for another opportunity to make a significant contribution in some way. And I stumbled along this airport opportunity, met Brian and Deanna, and it was a wonderful time that I spent with them. And from that came this opportunity, and I am really excited about it. The aviation part is going to challenge me, but I love the opportunity to learn and grow. And I just look forward to making a significant contribution to the Santa Barbara Airport and doing what I can to help move this great organization forward. So been really fun getting to know anybody. I really like Brian. He's great. So I'm just enjoying my time there so far.
Thank you, Robert. And let's see, a couple of other things. We're almost done here. So I think we were fortunate to land Bob Dixon in this role, and we will make great use of him being on board, and I'm just really looking forward to that. But we have a lot of other needs on the recruitment side, especially in facilities, custodial, operations, security, patrol, lots of areas. We've got a lot of job openings, and I don't know that too many people are listening in or will watch this on YouTube, but every chance I get, I want to get the word out that we are hiring, and we've got a great team here. It's a really fun and exciting place to work. So if you know anybody who might be a good fit to come work out here at the airport, please encourage them to do so. Last couple of things, the plane pull, you heard that from Jonathan earlier. Just wanted to thank everyone who contributed in any way to that. We had a lot of staff out there making sure that that was a success, and we had great partnership with Signature and with Alaska Airlines, and then of course Alpha Resource Center. Just I think they met their goals and then some. So I think it was a great success. And as that event was winding down, people were coming up to me and talking about next year. So hopefully there will be a next year for that event. And what I really wanted to say with that, again, it's sort of another opportunity. Again, we don't have a huge audience right now, but every chance I can get, I want to say that the airport is open to entertaining ideas for public events. So if there are ideas out there, you know, people who may have an idea, they should come to me, come to Angie, our marketing person, and we'll try to make it happen. It was just a great success to get the public out here and engaged on the airfield. That was pretty neat. So again, thank you and congrats to all involved in that. That was a great success. Last thing, another sort of celebration point. I got a call from Southwest Airlines last week. It felt like it was out of the blue, but they wanted to let me know that there were going to be some schedule changes. And at first I sort of panic when I hear that, but this was what they call a structural addition. And something we've been waiting for a while is to get Sacramento back online.
Yeah.
So that's what the call was about. Starting June 5th, I believe it is, they will be offering daily service to Sacramento. The timing isn't ideal from a business travel standpoint, but it's really good from an operational standpoint here at the airport. Our morning is already super busy. So they were able to shift things around a little bit and squeeze in some time in the mid-morning to get a flight out here out of Santa Barbara. It leaves at 10:15 a.m., arrives in Sacramento. I think the arrival time is 11:30 a.m. It spends an hour on the ground in Sacramento, and then at 12:30, it will leave Sacramento and immediately return back down here, arriving at 1:45 p.m. here in Santa Barbara. That's a daily. And I said earlier, June 5th is the start. That's up. They called me on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and sure enough, the next day when I went on Southwest website, it was there available for booking. They don't do a lot to advertise or market for the different routes, so they kind of leave it up to the airport to do that. So we're going to be working with our marketing team that we have and working with Visit Santa Barbara and do what we can to get the word out to make sure that that new route is a success. But I wanted to share that with the commissioners tonight. And with that, that's the end of what I had prepared. Activity is ramping up. I think March is going to be a great month with spring break travelers. I leave on Friday myself for Florida with the family. So we're going to be part of the passenger count here coming up. And yeah, just looking forward to what could be a record year that we're on target to achieve. So thank you all. If there are any questions on my report, I have time.
Brian.
We're only half hour in.
Well, thank you very much for that report. That's all great stuff. I won't steal any thunder from one of our airport commissioners who probably would like to make some comment because he participated in the poll. I don't know where that team went, but in terms of where they placed, but so I'll not offer any comments on that other than great stuff. Thanks for the director's report and great to hear about Southwest. Do we have any directors that would like to ask any questions or make any comments on the director's report? Oh, Paul, I thought you might. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to thank the staff for the excellent support and signature that made the airplane poll such a big success. I can probably semi-officially speak for Alpha and say they would really like to do it again next year. And I truly believe that public events like this are very good for the airport's image in the community. So thanks again.
And Paul, your team, how did your team do?
Yeah, we were in like the top third, but we had the best costumes.
Okay. Do we have any other commissioners with comments or questions? Yes, Vice Chair Houghton.
I just want to congratulate airport staff, even though it appeared it all came from Southwest. I know you've all been working diligently with Southwest to improve our commercial air service. So I'm very pleased to hear about the new Sacramento service, and thanks for everyone's effort there. Now we have to just get San Jose for our tech community.
Yes, yes, yes. Do I have any other commissioners with questions or comments? Looks like I don't. So Mo, if you would call for any public comment on the director's report.
Sure. Members of the public, if you'd like to make a comment, please go ahead and use your raised hand icon and I will call on you. Commissioner Arcuri, I'm not seeing any raised hands. I do want to backtrack a little bit and ask if you would call for a motion on the consent calendar.
Oh my gosh.
That's just the one missing housekeeping item.
Mo, I don't know what we would do without you running the air. I think we should basically send everybody on vacation. You just run the whole shebang. I am so
Send me on
sorry.
vacation.
I am so sorry. You can have an all expense paid vacation to, I don't know, how about Bakersfield? Actually, where did our former airport director go? Fresno. We'll send you to Fresno. No disrespect to Fresno. Yes, my big mistake. I blew right by that one. I'd love to entertain a motion to accept the consent calendar as I read several items ago.
I move to accept the consent calendar as read.
And do I have a second?
I second.
A second from Dennis. And Mo, I think we have to do this by roll call, don't we?
Yes. Okay, Commissioner Glazier,
Aye.
Commissioner Bowen,
Aye.
Commissioner Maya,
Yes.
Vice Chair Houghton,
Yes.
and Chair Arcuri.
And yes, thankfully
you.
for Mo. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. The motion was
prospect
unanimous.
Of saying live from New York and having a record airport commission meeting that I got all wrapped up in that. So I believe that is all our business. Thanks everybody for attending. Very excited to hear that next month we may be actually doing this the old fashioned way, face to face. And I'm assuming we may very well have a much a significant agenda to go through. No pressure there, Brian. So thanks everybody for attending. And with that, I will adjourn this Airport Commission meeting.